Where did you put the newspaper? Put the scissors in the drawer when you're finished. I put some money into our account. It's time to put the kids to bed. Ohio State's win put them in the playoffs. The recent layoffs put 250 people out of work. Higher insurance costs may put many companies out of business. Politics puts me to sleep. He put himself in danger to save the lives of others. Listen to music to put you in a relaxed mood. Put your name at the top of your answer sheet. We put an ad in the paper. We want to put more pressure on Congress to pass gun control laws. We want the President to put an end to this war. How can I put this? To put it bluntly, a lot of people just don't like her. Well, let me put it this way. He's lied to us before. Responsible parents always put their children first. The new study puts UCLA among the top 5 research universities in the U.S. Vietnam veterans talked of the need to put the war behind them. These people put little trust in doctors. I had a hard time putting my message across to the students. Try to put your feelings aside and look at the facts. I have money put aside for emergencies. Could you put the dishes away before you go to bed? Put the milk back in the fridge, please. The program helps put people back to work.
She put her case down on the floor.
Her father is always putting her down. I put down that I'd be available to work on Saturdays. Soldiers were sent to put down the rebellion. The treaty was put forward by the Dutch. We had to have a new furnace put in. Doug is putting in a lot of hours at work. Sawyer put in his expenses claim last week.
Jones put in a request for a transfer to our Dallas office.
The company plans to put more money into computer technology. Koskov put a lot of time and effort into this project. The college hopes to put the changes into effect by August 1st. Many Americans put off filling out their tax forms as long as possible. We have decided to put off our trip to Europe until next year. Don't be put off by the restaurant's decor. The food is excellent. Put your coat on. It's cold. The government put a freeze on the construction of new nuclear power plants. It's cold in here. Why don't you put on the heat? Let's put on some music.
I hardly ever put on lipstick.
The orchestra is putting on a concert for charity. Let me just put the potatoes on. It took nearly 3 hours to put out the fire. They've put out 3 books now on vegetarian cooking. I'm just going to put out cold cuts, bread, and stuff for lunch. Has anybody put the trash out yet? The company has put out a statement saying that they will replace all the defective products. Will it put you out if I bring another guest? Jack put out his foot and tripped her. My father's drinking problem put my mother through hell. He worked part-time to put himself through school. The proposal was put to the committee on January 9th. The store will put the bicycle together for you. Franklin has put together a program to help families in need. He earns more than the rest of us put together. The developers plan to put up a 15-story office building. Stores are already putting up Christmas decorations. We put our house up for sale. I can put Jared up for the night. Firth put up $42,000 in prize money for the contest. Opponents of the bill are putting up a good fight in the assembly. Jim wouldn't usually play such a stupid trick. Someone must have put him up to it. I'm not going to put up with being treated like that.
Where did you put the newspaper?
I think I put the keys in my coat pocket.
We had to put netting over the plants to protect them from birds.
He put up his hood when it started to rain. Just put the package over there on the table. Carol put her arms around him.
She put up her hand and asked to leave the room.
Davis's goal put his team into the lead.
Exercising usually helps put me in a better mood.
Listening to Larry's stories just about put me to sleep. The boys' own actions put them in danger.
The offer put me in an awkward position.
Higher transportation costs put many companies out of business.
The closure of the factory has put hundreds of people out of work. Hall will be put in charge of overseas marketing.
The accident put Ron out of commission for a few months.
Tests can put students under a lot of stress.
The new rules put private buyers at a disadvantage.
Put your name at the top of each answer sheet. I put an ad in the paper last week.
She put it very well when she was interviewed on television. Nancy often has trouble putting her thoughts into words. You don't have to put it like that.
Simply put, we have no time to waste.
The community must work together to put an end to the violence.
Counseling helped her put the accident behind her.
Get them to put the job offer in writing.
As one officer put it, the whole event was a disaster.
He was a nuisance, to put it mildly.
To put it bluntly, John, I'm not interested.
He is, how shall I put it, a little overweight?
Put your skills and knowledge to work for you.
This program will put unemployed people to work. To put it another way, raising taxes will mean people have less money to spend. Forest managers have been slow to put the plan into practice.
The company was accused of putting profit before safety.
She always puts her family first.
His income puts him among the wealthiest people in the country.
He ought to be put in prison.
Pneumonia put him in the hospital for more than a week.
It's time to put the boys to bed.
They think they found a way to put one over on the welfare office.
We went to the airport this morning to put Mom on a plane home.
Larson has promised to put the city's finances right by the end of the year.
They're putting a new apartment building on my street.
He was trying to put across a serious point.
They decided to put aside their differences. Fortunately, they had put aside money for such an emergency.
Let's put this question aside for now and continue with the discussion.
Try to put aside an hour each day for exercise.
I've put aside some of my son's clothes for my sister's baby. Official estimates put the damage at over $10 million.
Could you put the dishes away for me?
She was able to put away a few dollars every week.
A maniac like him needs to be put away for a long time.
Jack can really put away the food.
Put the milk back in the fridge.
The program should put 250 people back to work.
The meeting has been put back until next Thursday.
This fire could put back the opening date by several weeks.
This should put a smile back on his face.
He put down his knife and fork. Meg's mother-in-law is always putting her down.
Stop putting yourself down.
I'm not sure what to put down on the form.
We put down a deposit of $100.
We had to have the dog put down.
He put the plane down in a field. Military police were called in to put down the riot.
It's such a good book that I couldn't put it down.
I didn't think he was unfriendly. I just put him down as shy.
I'll put you down for an appointment on Thursday at 3 p.m.
You can put me down for a $25 donation.
I had a headache, but I put it down to the wine. Arguments have been put forth in favor of the construction project.
Several proposals have been put forward for discussion. After we bought the car, we had a better stereo put in. She puts in long hours at the office.
Each of us put in $100 toward the cost. Young says he doesn't put much trust in the polls. Susan put in her application for graduate school last week. The kids have put a lot of energy into planning the trip.
He put his own money into the company.
Put a little romance into your life.
Jones put in for a transfer to our Dallas office.
The game has been put off until tomorrow.
You shouldn't put off going to the dentist.
Don't put off your homework. Do it today.
The car's unusual shape put off many potential customers.
You can't keep putting me off. I need the money now. Hurry up and put your shoes on.
The government has put a limit on foreign imports of textiles.
Tests can put a lot of pressure on students.
I hardly ever put on lipstick. It's cold in here. Why don't you put on the heat?
Shall I put on another CD?
It annoys me when she puts on her phony British accent.
He didn't feel that he had to put on an act to impress her.
The school puts on a play every year.
Let me just put the potatoes on first.
Dennis has put on a lot of weight recently. Seth is moving to Alaska? You're putting me on.
I put $30 on Miami to win the Super Bowl.
The new tax could put another 10 cents on the price of gas.
The doctor put me on a special diet to lower my cholesterol.
Put Dad on. I want to ask him a question.
It took firefighters several hours to put the blaze out.
Could you help me put out the sandwiches for lunch?
Will it put you out if I bring another guest?
Remember to put the cat out before you go to bed.
Don't put yourself out just for me.
He put his hand out to keep from falling over. The government immediately put out a statement denying the rumor.
In the last 5 years, Williams has put out 3 new CDs.
I'd like to speak with Mr. Croft. I'll put you right through. I'm grateful to my wife for putting me through law school.
I don't think he realizes what he's put me through.
The aircraft was being put through its checks. The legislation was put through by the Democrats.
We put our proposal to the city's Board of Supervisors. I'll put the question to the group for discussion. I put it to you that, in fact, you yourself initiated the violence. I hope I'm not putting you to any trouble by asking for your help.
You should start by putting together a business plan.
It took days to put the engine together again.
The state government has put together a team of scientists. David earns more than the rest of us put together.
They put up a fence to keep intruders out.
The tent takes just minutes to put up.
Let's put a few of these posters up in the hallway.
Stores are already putting up Christmas decorations.
We could put you up for the night.
13 of the bank's branches will be put up for sale. She put up a brave fight against her attacker.
Part of that money is being put up by local businessmen.
Local residents have put up a reward for information about the crime.
Who put you up to this? For many years, residents have put up with the constant noise.
I don't know how she puts up with him.
The observation was not intended to be a put-down. She seemed a bit put out when I told her you weren't coming.
She was tired of his put-downs.
She felt put out that she hadn't been consulted.
He put the coffee on the table.
Where did you put the programs?
Don't put yourself into a situation you can't handle.
The long delay had put us all in a bad mood.
I don't want to put you in danger.
Pit closures have put thousands of miners out of a job.
His boss resigned, and Murphy was put in charge.
Politics puts me to sleep.
A knee injury put him out of action for 3 months.
Put your name at the top of each answer sheet. He put his signature to the contract.
The question was well put.
So it was an accident, an act of God, if you want to put it like that.
When women joined the organisation, it took on a new look, as New Reports put it. It is hard to put into words how I feel now.
He's not very musical, to put it mildly.
We get on each other's nerves, to put it bluntly.
It's fairly risky. Or to put it another way, don't try this at home. The subject matter makes the painting a little, how shall I put it, undesirable for public display.
We must put an end to their threats.
James was keen to put some of the things he had learned into practice.
He put the proposal to his wife.
The budget was put before the board of directors.
Can I put a question to you?
I put it to you that this proposal has to be considered.
He has a chance to put things right by admitting a mistake was made.
A young man was in here asking for Miss Walby, but I put him right on that one.
It took us all weekend to put the garden straight.
A scheme to put unemployed people to work on government construction projects.
If you have a spare room, put it to work for you. Take in a lodger.
Computer games are being put to use in the classroom.
We put 15 rain jackets to the test.
A recent poll put Dr. Martens among the world's top 30 designer labels.
Some companies put profit before safety. The job's important to him, but he puts his family first.
The company is putting in new management.
Pneumonia put him in the hospital for a week.
Put the boys to bed around 8 o'clock.
I put her on the plane for London.
A car accident put paid to his chances of taking part in the race.
I wouldn't put it past him to use force.
$500? Okay, it's a deal. Put it there.
After he was fired, he put it about that he was fed up with working for such a large company.
He was trying to put across a serious point.
Sue's never been very good at putting herself across at interviews.
She can really put a song across.
You must put aside your pride and apologise to him.
She put at least £30 a week aside for food.
He glanced at the note, put it aside, and went on with the meeting.
If you're planning a trip to the museum, be sure to put aside at least an hour and a half.
Her fortune was put at £5.5 million. He put his toys away every night.
We're putting some money away for expenses. If you are found guilty, the judge is going to put you away for life.
It's amazing the amount that child can put away.
He seized the opportunity to put the ball away.
2 plays later, Smith scored to put the game away.
She put the saucepan back on the stove.
Our win today put us back into 3rd place in the league.
The meeting has been put back to next Thursday.
This fire could put back the opening date by several weeks.
The wind put a smile back on his face.
She had dealt with the guilt years ago and put it behind her.
We're trying to put a little by each month for a new car. Put those heavy bags down for a minute.
I hate the way Dave puts me down the whole time.
Stop putting yourself down.
Put down your name and address.
The uprising was put down by the police and the army.
They put down a deposit on the goods until Christmas.
We tried to put Amy down at 6 every evening.
She put the phone down on me.
We had to have the dog put down.
Once I'd started reading it, I just couldn't put it down.
The engine failed and the plane put down in the sea.
He asked the taxi to put him down at the end of the road.
I didn't think he was unfriendly. I put him down as shy.
They put themselves down for a training course.
I was having difficulty reading, which I put down to the poor light.
Arguments were put forth for changing some of the rules of the game.
They put forward a number of suggestions.
Her name was put forward for the lead role in the play.
The men's final has been put forward to 1:30.
We decided to have a new bathroom put in.
Dorothy had put in a lot of hard work during her 6 years as chairperson.
How old are you? 16. I'm 16 too, put in Dixie.
She put in an insurance claim.
We must put in an order by tonight.
I put in for a pay increase.
I'm putting my faith in the appeal judges.
He put in a brilliant performance in the British Grand Prix.
There was an hour yet before she needed to put in an appearance at the restaurant.
The government appears to be putting more money into education.
Candidates put a lot of time and effort into gaining qualifications. These simple recipes put more fun into eating.
The match has been put off until tomorrow because of bad weather.
I put off going to the doctor, but I wish I hadn't.
Don't let the restaurant's decor put you off. The food is really good.
Don't let your failures put you off trying harder.
When he calls, put him off as long as you can.
It puts me off when you watch me all the time.
I'll put you off at the supermarket.
He took off his uniform and put on a sweater and trousers.
I'll have to put my glasses on. I can't read the sign from here. I've got to put this cream on twice a day.
The government put a limit on imports of textiles.
Pat was putting pressure on him to leave his wife.
He got up and put on the light.
Shall I put the kettle on?
She put on some music while they ate.
Sheila's not really that upset. She's just putting it on.
Leaving the court, the families all tried to put on a brave face.
Rosie's put on 5 kilos since she quit smoking.
One summer the children put on a play.
The team need to put on another world-class performance.
Shall I put the pasta on now?
BA is putting on extra flights to cover the Christmas rush.
He wouldn't do that. You're putting me on.
We put £50 on Brazil to win the cup.
Can smokers really complain if more tax is put on cigarettes?
Can you put Janet on?
Joe put us on to this fantastic French restaurant.
The rescue services are still trying to put out the fires.
The girls helped her to put out the cups and plates.
We were a little put out at not being invited to the wedding.
Mary can't come to dinner tonight. She hopes it won't put you out. They had put themselves out to entertain her during her visit.
Remember to put the cat out before you go to bed.
He put out his hand toward her.
They put out a half-hour programme on young refugees.
He had already put out feelers with local employers, but they hadn't been interested.
The advert puts over the message clearly and simply. Nuclear power is clean.
Nobody could put one over on him.
Could you put me through to Eddie?
She worked as a waitress and put herself through school.
The soldiers were put through 8 weeks of basic training.
They really put me through it at the interview.
Production will start up again when these changes have been put through.
It took all morning to put the proposal together.
We are currently putting together a sales and marketing team.
I can't work out how to put this table together.
Paul seemed to have more money than the rest of us put together.
Alec put the money towards a trip to Australia.
They're putting up several new office blocks in the centre of town.
Can I put up some posters?
The shops have started to put up Christmas decorations. My dad put up 5 shelves.
Most big stores admit they daren't put prices up for fear of losing their customers.
I put up my hand and asked to leave the room.
Philip put his hood up because it was raining.
I was hoping Kenny could put me up for a few days.
We can put up at a hotel for the night.
Gina put up a real fight to overcome the disease.
The rebels have put up fierce resistance.
The paper put up a reward for information on the murder.
They put their house up for sale.
The baby was put up for adoption.
If you can put up a good enough case, the board will provide the finance.
I was put up for the committee.
Did Shirley put you up to this? No, it was my own idea.
She put up with his violent temper.
Put the cases down there, please.
Did you put sugar in my coffee? Put your hand up if you need more paper.
He put his fist through a glass door. Her family put her into a nursing home.
It was the year the Americans put a man on the moon.
We had to put new locks on all the doors. Put your name here.
Friday at 11? I'll put it in my diary. I couldn't read what she had put.
I was put in charge of the office.
The incident put her in a bad mood. Put yourself in my position. What would you have done? I tried to put the matter into perspective. Don't go putting yourself at risk. It was time to put their suggestion into practice. This new injury will put him out of action for several weeks.
Her new job has put a great strain on her.
They put pressure on her to resign. It's time you put a stop to this childish behavior.
She put it very tactfully.
Put simply, we accept their offer or go bankrupt. I was, to put it mildly, annoyed. He was too trusting, or to put it another way, he had no head for business. The meat was, how shall I put it, a little overdone. She had never tried to put this feeling into words. Can you help me put this letter into good English, please? Our company puts the emphasis on quality. He put a limit on the amount we could spend.
I'd put her in the top rank of modern novelists.
I put it to you that you are the only person who had a motive for the crime. Don't try to put one over on me. They really put me through it at the interview. Your department spent more last year than all the others put together. Someone's been putting it about that you plan to resign. She's not very good at putting her views across. They decided to put aside their differences. We put some money aside every month for our retirement. I put aside half an hour every day to write my diary. The damage to the building is put at over $1 million.
I'm just going to put the car away.
She has a few $1,000s put away for her retirement. He must have put away a bottle of whiskey last night.
If you use something, put it back. The meeting has been put back to next week.
Poor trading figures put back our plans for expansion. Remember to put your clocks back tonight. I'm putting by part of my wages every week to buy a bike. He put down in a field.
Put that knife down before you hurt somebody.
It's a great book. I couldn't put it down. She put the phone down on me.
The meeting's on the 22nd. Put it down in your diary.
The military government is determined to put down all opposition. We had to have our cat put down. Can you be quiet? I've just put the baby down. I'd put them both down as retired teachers. Put me down for 3 tickets for Saturday. They've put their son down for the local school. What do you put her success down to?
We've put the wedding forward by 1 week.
Remember to put your clocks forward tonight. Who will the voters put in this time?
We're having a new shower put in.
Could I put in a word? But what about us? He put in. The company has put in a claim for damages. All the actors put in great performances. She often puts in 12 hours work a day. He's putting a lot of work into improving his French. He's put all his savings into buying that house. They put in at Lagos for repairs. Are you going to put in for that job? He put as much feeling into his voice as he could. It's too late to put them off now.
She's very clever, but her manner does tend to put people off.
Don't be put off by how it looks. It tastes delicious.
Don't put me off when I'm trying to concentrate.
The sudden noise put her off her game. I asked the bus driver to put me off at the station.
He was put off science by bad teaching.
The accident put her off driving for life.
We've had to put off our wedding until September.
He keeps putting off going to the dentist. Hi, Dad. Can you put Nikki on?
Hurry up, put your coat on. She's just putting on her makeup. I'll put the kettle on for tea.
She put on the brakes suddenly.
Do you mind if I put some music on? She looks like she's put on weight.
He must have put on several kilos. The city is putting on extra buses during the summer.
The local drama club is putting on Macbeth. He put on an American accent.
I don't think she was hurt. She was just putting it on. The government has put 10 pence on the price of 20 cigarettes. I've never put money on a horse. I put £5 on him to win. What first put the police onto the scam? Who put you onto this restaurant? It's great. Please don't put yourself out on my account. I hope our arriving late didn't put them out. He looked really put out. These pills should put him out for a few hours. Have you put out clean towels for the guests?
Firefighters soon put the fire out.
The factory puts out 500 new cars a week. Police have put out a description of the man they wish to question. A lot of the work is put out to freelancers. The rise in interest rates put our estimates out by several thousands. She fell off her horse and put her shoulder out. We put out from Liverpool. We managed to put the deal through. You have put your family through a lot recently. He put all his children through college.
Could you put me through to the manager, please?
I hope we're not putting you to too much trouble.
Your proposal will be put to the board of directors.
The audience is now invited to put questions to the speaker.
I think we can put together a very strong case for the defense.
Here's $100 to put towards your ski trip. They surrendered without putting up much of a fight. The team put up a great performance.
We can put you up for the night.
The Green Party hopes to put up more candidates in the next election.
She's put her hair up. They've put up the rent by £20 a month.
A local businessman has put up the £500,000 needed to save the club. We put up at a motel. She is putting up for election to the committee. Some of the older boys must have put him up to it.
I don't know how she puts up with him.
I'm not going to put up with their smoking any longer.
She placed a cool towel on his forehead.
The security cameras are positioned just inside the door. When no one was looking, she slipped the necklace into her purse. He slid the storage container under the bed. Insert the screw into the hole marked A. She picked a few pieces of clothing up and stuck them in a drawer. Tuck the sheets under the mattress. I just shoved all his stuff into a corner and left it there. David thrust his hands into his pockets. He crammed his books and coat into his locker.
You can dump your books over there on the desk.